In this issue of the Mountain Bike Chronicles, we're with the FMB World Tour in Whistler, where the best battle it out at the Red Bull Joyride in the Crankworx Bike Park. Brandon Semenuk from Canada dominates the sport. He wants to win his home event again. The Coastal Crew from British Columbia is one of the best-known mountain biking groups in the world. All this and much more in this edition of the Mountain Bike Chronicles.
He has won so many events this year and continues to dominate. The #1 guy in the FMB World Tour rankings. Get ready for Brandon Semenuk!
Aged only 21, Brandon Semenuk already is a true legend in freestyle mountain biking, winning every possible event, including the prestigious Diamond events, the Joyride, and the Red Bull Rampage. With an unbelievable 6 wins in a row, Semenuk again is the man to beat in 2012.
Brandon is one of those supreme athletes because he's just so good. He's just doing tricks that he's basically just thinking of and learning and then just going out and doing.
First run, he'll go up and do some of the craziest stuff you've ever seen, and that's just a warm-up for him. So to see that determination is pretty impressive, and it shows in his results and in his skills overall.
I would say I don't really have an off season. I'd like to just chill, but it's like, well, I'm riding a new bike at the next event, so, you know, now I got to practice on this different bike, and it's almost like you don't even think of it, and then it's just like, boom, like I got a good idea.
What's cool is he doesn't spend all of his time just riding his hardtail or just riding his slope bike. He's on his downhill bike or his mid-travel. Brandon grew up with a mountain biking background. It's not just all about slope style, it's not all just about riding jumps, but just trying to improve as a rider and have fun. He's at the top of his game. Definitely a power athlete, and yeah, it's always a treat to see him ride a bike.
The Red Bull Joyride on Brandon Semenuk's home turf is one out of the 2 biggest events of the tour. Right from the start, a matchup between 2 riders becomes apparent. One of the duelists is Thomas Guénon of Belgium. He shows a solid first run and is in the lead.
Unbelievable.
The fans are awaiting his opponent. Martin Soderstrom is facing the matchup and shows technical riding in his first run. As a result, he is the new leader. Even though he spends most of his time with his bike, in his free time, Brandon Semenuk still has a lot of different hobbies beyond the sport.
I like to keep my mind off of riding sometimes, and you do need to just take a few days off and then just have something to do to keep you entertained for those times. I'd see these rally cars like ripping around. I'm like, man, that looks so fun.
Brandon takes every opportunity to clear his mind.
We go out and ride our dirt bikes together and go out and shred in his rally car, and Brandon's got lots of cool toys. I think when you're an athlete, you've got different ways of keeping yourself entertained. So they might be a bit more extreme than your average person.
So nice to be able to get away from my riding sometimes, and it's like, you know, I feel privileged to be able to have this. It's nice to get away from contests and filming, and that stuff just gets stressful sometimes, and you need to just fade away for a bit.
At the Red Bull Joyride, the best 3 riders from last year are highly anticipated. In 2011, the 15-year-old Anthony Massere had his breakthrough on the world stage of mountain biking with a 3rd place.
On the top of the heap on his first run.
This year might be a good one as well, but in the end, he can only make 5th place. The next one is Cam Zink. Last year, he placed 2nd here. This time, luck doesn't play in his favor. With the crash, he's out of the race. Now it's time for the number 1. Brandon Semenuk won his home event in 2011.
The flip, he's landed it. Give it up for Brandon Semenuk.
He starts off good, but misses the landing. He has one more chance in his 2nd run, but again, the Canadian has a hard time and walks away with a big loss. Despite the disappointing result, the season is not over yet. Brandon leaves Whistler and plans his attack for the last event of the year, the Red Bull Rampage.
Following the contest circuit, it's pretty crazy. It gets hectic at times. My riding doesn't really end. I struggle with letting go of it. I don't want to, like, totally stop.
If he's not sleeping, he's riding. It's pretty much he'll wake up before anyone else and he'll be out riding, he'll be out planning. He's always got that gear going and he's always got something on his mind about what he wants to do.
Recently, I purchased a piece of land in British Columbia to basically kind of make my own zone, make different stuff to ride, and it's the ideal, like, environment for me. It's just fun, like, you know, you ride through the line and you just hear one of your friends on the deck just laughing.
Especially when you're just trying to get back into it, trying to get stoked again, and it's nice to have some people getting you keen on riding.
I'm more stoked to send it in the yard with all my buddies than I am to, like, go to an event I'm really, like, nervous to do. I think being home and being comfortable and being in an environment you're used to, you know, I think that's where a lot of your creativity comes from, is, like, you know, riding at a place you always ride at and being comfortable or being around people that make you comfortable.
Just shredding every day, trying to get all my tricks and get some new tricks and feel consistent again.
It's nice to get away from contests and filming and hibernate.
There is a strong bond in the mountain biking world, and one team is the best example for that, the Coastal Crew of British Columbia.
Just 3 best friends doing what we love to do, just riding bikes, building trails, filming everything that we do.
We just want to, like, create cool stuff, and that's where it all began, and from there it just spread into this kind of a following, and in a way it's like what we dreamt about doing when we were kids, but totally unintentionally.
We do a lot of trail work, whether it be like just local trails or for our own stuff to shoot and then create a web piece or whatever we want to use it for. So it's all work and it's all fun, and we all get to do it together.
It worked out for us because we're now riding bikes for a living. We've assembled all the sponsors that we want to be running anyway, so we're pretty lucky to be able to be running the stuff that we want.
Yeah, boys. We all kind of have our own role, but at the same time we all help each other out.
Curtis is definitely the best rider, I'd say, out of the 3 of us when it comes to the trail building and getting things moving. That's Curtis.
And then Kyle handles most of the business side of things. He's always on the phone, always doing emails, but he loves it, which is awesome.
I do predominantly the film and editing work, but, you know, I always prefer to be riding my bike if possible.
Yes.
Yeah, we ride together, we build together, we film together.
From work to play to fun, just to living. And we still don't hate each other.
At the Red Bull Joyride, it's all about the final decision. Martin Soderstrom is still in the lead, but Cam McCall from the USA chases after him. He has a good run, but not good enough. At the end, he can only make third place. Thomas Gainon wants to do better than second place.
Oh, you see how he snapped that front flip? That kid is so comfortable with them. Double tail whip over the head. 360 Barker. First person to be flipping up. Only person.
He shows an impressive run and takes the lead.
Give it up for Thomas, you know!
Martin Soderstrom still has one more chance to fight back. His run is nearly perfect till the last jump.
There it goes. Perfectly executed double whip. 360 invert over the hip. Oh! Here we go into the flare on that. 360.
He risks everything, but falls. Therefore, Thomas Gainon wins the Red Bull Joyride, followed by Martin Soderstrom. After the Red Bull Joyride, Brandon Semenuk still leads the FMB World Tour rankings, followed by Martin Soderstrom and Thomas Gainon. In the next issue of Mountain Bike Chronicles, we are in Leogang, Austria for the UCI Downhill World Championships. Rob Warner is an icon in the sport, and today he is spreading his voice all over as a commentator. We take a closer look at the different pedal systems. All this and much more in the next edition of Mountain Bike Chronicles.